This video is part of my automotive repair how-to videos. It pertains to 2000 Saturn SL2, but may be applicable to other model years. In this video, I will show you how to remove the armrest lid. This lid on top of the armrest assembly for repair or individual replacement, and also I'll show you how to reattach it after it's been removed. In a previous video, which I'll just provide a link below, I replaced the entire armrest assembly with an undamaged assembly from the wrecker. Now, while I did do this specific repair quite a while ago, and I did not film it, the repair fixed the hinge and it's remained solid for over a year. So it's been an effective repair, and I thought I would share it with everyone, especially on how to go about doing it. The tools that you will need are as follows. Are gloves, because you might be dealing with something quite thin and long and possibly sharp like I am. You'll be needing a rag, some isopropyl alcohol, obviously the armrest assembly taken off your vehicle, and that's in my previous video how to remove it. And finally, you should have something like 𝗏, which, I'll just turn this around, which is basically a crazy glue-like substance, which also provides you with a plastic powdery material that enables you to reinforce the area that you have glued together with added plastic-like material. And I'm just gonna pour a little bit of this into this napkin here, and this will give you an idea of how fine this powder is. You see, that's just a sample of how small the particulate is. And basically what ends up happening is you place a bead of the crazy glue down and you shake this powdery material on top of it, and it absorbs it and adheres to both the material that you've glued, whether you place the glue onto, as well as this particulate material, and you just keep building it up in layers, and it creates a really thick cement-like base which can surround the area that's been broken. Now, previously I did use epoxy, and that did not work properly. In fact, it broke after a couple of months. Now this repair has been solid for over a year now. Okay, the first step in this repair is to remove the metal tube-like rings inside the hinge area that are holding it together. Just going to turn it around to the other side. And there's two of them. And basically what happens is the two connect into this solid base of the assembly and hold the hinge in place. And the objective is to use something sharp, or dull for that matter, but something thin enough to enter into the holes themselves and push out both of these tube-like rings. And what I have here is a skewer. It's metallic, but you could also fashion something out of wood, like a chopstick. Now this I have not fashioned yet, but you could easily, shape it and thin it down to match the diameter that you need. Now I'm just gonna show you using a caliper, and this is about 2.5 millimeters, or about 3/32 of an inch, and it's a square shape. And what I'm going to do is wear my gloves, because I don't want to prick myself. Place one of the place the skewer at the opening of one, and make sure that as I push, you see how it's coming out on the other end? There. Both of them have come out, and that enables you to take the lid right off. Of course, there's going to be that attachment there. I'm just going to focus in on these prongs here, and again, you see that the diameter of these prongs is about, I would say 3.5, maybe 4 millimeters. So you would need something between 2.5 to 3 millimeters to fit into that hole, so that it pushes these two ring-like tubes out, and it assists you in removing this lid. Now the second step that I would recommend, what you can see here is that the area that was broken off was this part here and this part here. And this is a known weakness for this type of lid. And basically what you would do, I'm just going to show you this side here. Okay. What you would do is you'd use the rag and the isopropyl alcohol, clean the area thoroughly, and once the area was clean and dry, use a crazy glue and pour a layer down to where the joint is and press down onto both pieces until they're dry. Once they're dry, you would put a bead of crazy glue down into this crevice area, which is quite weak, and gently tap some of the powder in layers and build it up like I have here. You see how it's built up? You can barely see any curvature there. Once you've built that part up, what I did was I put another bead along the top of this and gently shook some powdered Q bond onto the joint area. I did lay some tape down so that it was nice and neat, but of course it's still rough because the powdered material does not go down or lay down very evenly. All right, after you've let your crazy glue dry and the reinforcement dry, I would say approximately 10 to 20 minutes. You don't need that long because it dries pretty quick. You would reassemble the lid to the armrest assembly, and basically it's the reverse steps. Make sure that it's on, make sure that the holes are even, and one way I do that is I just put in the skewer through. Now it's even. I take one of them, push it in by hand, and the gloves come in handy because they don't prick you as badly. And then you use the skewer to just push. Oops, just moved it there. Push. Push it in. There you go. And then the same onto the other side. Just have to make sure that it remains lined up. There you go. And now you see the lid is repaired, it's been reassembled, and it works fine. This helps especially for people that don't want to replace the lid and the repair is good enough for them. And if you do want to replace it, you can look at my other video.